Okay, so we're going to look here at the OTRS system. So once you've logged into the OTRS system, you've got a bunch of menu choices up here at the top. The admin menu, you have to sort of visit first, I think, to sort of have a look at things. So we get to the admin menu. There's a couple of things we might look at there. First thing there, we might have a look at the queues. We notice the queues that we've got there. So, for example, you can create queues. You can add to a queue if you've got the permissions as an admin. You can add a queue. You can see some queues that have been added there. So, for example, I've added a queue for section 1, and that's for where my students are going to put all of their tickets in that queue. So tickets will go to a queue, and so now on the queue, so our sorry, please please bear with me here. My mouse stopped working, and my finger is not working very well either, it seems. All right, so students will be agents, and so if we see the agents here, you can see how the agent is structured, or the agent, how the record of the agent is structured. So what you have is you have a username. Now the protocol that I've used here is I use the student ID as their username, and then they have their name, and then their email is just their student number with the CNAQ, etc. So the thing is also that that student will then be given permissions, and you can see the permissions here. Now the permissions, they've been given admin permissions, this particular student, and because it's my student, I think the student they've been given permissions to write things in the CP 1041 section 1 group. And so you could add a new agent. You were to add a new agent, you'd just use this button here to add a new agent, and you'd fill in the details there. And once you filled in all those details and you did the save, it would come up with a that matrix in which you would choose the permissions that you would give, and so just give them the permissions for the group that they belong in. All right, so that's our agents. The agent, if you forgot for some reason to give your agent the group permissions, you can go back and do it later. So, for example, this student here has been given permissions in the admin, and they've been given read-write permissions for my section. So that's obviously one of my students. So you can do that while you're creating the agent, or you can do it afterwards with the agent groups. So we got those groups. Now the next thing that you need to consider is you need to have some customers. So we can do that. The customer menu, you could do it also in the admin menu, because in the admin menu it does have something for customers down there. Create and manage customers, you could do it there. Or you could come do it from the drop down of the customer menu. The first thing that you need to do is you need to actually create a customer. So here's some customers that have been created. If I open one, you can see when you go to create, you'll get this thing here. I've just created a customer here. You need to give them a customer ID and a name at the very minimum, and then you can sort of create that customer. So let's go back and look at that again. So the other way you could do that, if you hadn't created one, you just press this button and it brings you that menu, and then you go ahead and do that, right? So you create a customer, first step. Then you need to create a customer user. So this is sort of hierarchy, I guess you could say. We actually need to use a customer user to create this ticket. So once we've got our customer created, we can go and create a customer user. I hope I'm in customer user there. As I said, my mouse broke. Yeah, here's customer user. If I add a customer user, well, actually, I'm not going to add one. I'm just going to open one here, so you can see. So what will happen when you go to create it here, you can just start in the customer ID. If you can remember the customer ID, it will pull up the details from the customer table for you. So that's how that will work. You'll start there, and then you can fill in the other details and then save and finish, and that'll be your customer. Once you've created your customer, you can go ahead and start creating tickets, because your tickets are going to have a customer to create the ticket. Now, with the tickets, you can have a look and see what tickets have been created. I got a couple of views there. One is a status view that'll show all the tickets you've created. You can see I've been playing around trying to create a ticket there for Trajan. The other way you can do it is you can do a queue view. If you can remember where your queue is, and here's my queue, and there's the tickets. So I had to double click on that up the top there, and there's the tickets that have been created in this queue. All right, so that's how we can see them. Now, if we want to create them, we need to do a new, obviously. And so there's two different types of tickets that are given here. You can do a ticket which is a email ticket, or you can do a ticket which is a phone ticket. Let's just choose one, the phone ticket. Yeah, but the thing is, as I was saying, you actually have to have a customer. So you're going to choose one of those customers. If you can remember how you started out your customer ID, mine started out with 99. I did that especially because I wanted it, because that's their customer name. Yeah, Trajan starts with a bunch of nines. And so that's the only way we're going to be able to do this. You actually have to have a valid customer to do this ticket. We got that. Then we can just fill in the other things. You're going to click there and choose a queue. I'm going to choose always my section's queue, and then a valid topic, whatever it's going to be. Sorry, install a mouse or something, and customer called urgently needs a mouse. That could be me, right? I mean, my mouse is not working, and so I'm doing this on my laptop and it's not working out so well. So we've got a few things there. We can choose a priority. We've got 5 different priority levels, so you can change those. You can have a pending date to do that. There's some other options that we don't really need. But then when you've got that, you can sort of create that ticket. And you'll say, oh, yeah, I created that ticket. Well, how do I know? Well, I can go now and look at the status view. That'd be a good place to start. And you should see that ticket there now. There's that ticket, install mouse. I think that's the ticket I just created now. And so that you could see it there. The other place you could see it is if you could remember what queue you had. This one here is my queue, and I can see that ticket there. I hope it's probably down the bottom here. Yeah, here it is. So I just created that ticket there, and so that's basically what for the students. I like you to sort of take screenshots of what you've done, to sort of give evidence of actually doing that. The login details. Yeah, well, I'll mention that separately. So that's what I wanted to show you regarding that. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. I'll blame it on the